Happy Monday, my nerds. How's it going? This is something new we are trying. So, when Theo and I got together and said that we were going to begin to make a channel together and we wanted to make something special, something a little crazy, it was on the pretense that since there was two of us, we could do some pretty crazy. And one of those things was always about me kind of getting back to my news roots and having a little bit of fun, just kind of getting into the news and having a conversation with you guys. I don't get to always do that. So, La Cruz says 1971, good to see you. Vin, brother, into the West. Oh my God, it's good to see you, my friend. Nicholas, really appreciate it. Gosh, guys, thank you so much for popping out. It is first version of our daily lives. Theo might get to jump in here for a little bit. It is totally different time of day on the West Coast. Out here on the East Coast, and it's 7:00. So it's dark, it's Michigan, it's cold, it's rainy, and it's the perfect time to go live and have some comic book conversations with my fam. And so, you know what? Without further ado, really, let's just get into it. So today, Monday, it is a beautiful day, the February 27th. And so let's start to kind of take a look at a few of the things that have been going on today. And honestly, one of the first things I really want to bring up is Warren Lau. And you can find him on Instagram as Art of Warren Lau. And the big thing that I'm really excited about is this post. Now, I've been collecting Warren Lau covers for a few years. I don't know if you're familiar with Warren Lau. If you are not familiar with Warren Lau, you should be familiar with his Power Girl that he did back in the day. And that book is gorgeous. He recently did another version of it in conjunction with, number one, this was on his own shop, but also with KRS Comics. Now, if you notice something about Warren, he does some of the most amazing covers in all of comics. And I really want to show this because it's, you know what? Who cares? Nobody wants to look at me. Nobody should have to see me. Look at this book. Just the detail in Harley's eyes. I have not seen an artist like this in ages who actually can pull off the books the way that he does, and I am nothing short of astounded. So, I'm in love. I am in absolute love with this cover. This is obviously one I've got in my own collection. And the most recent Power Girl, just look at her eyes, man. Look at her eyes. It is ridiculous. So at the end of the day, in my mind, this is nothing short of a coup for Marvel, getting Warren to do whatever covers he's going to be doing. I don't know if he's going to be doing ratio covers. I don't know if this is going to be B cover situations, but these, knowing I don't have to pay $30 to $50 for every single exclusive to be able to collect Warren Lau covers, and know I can get these at like a cover price scenario. And with my Marvel characters, one of the major reasons I collect DC covers is because I could be a bit of a simp, okay? I won't lie. I'm sorry. I can be a bit of a simp. It happens. I'm okay with it. I can admit these things. But at the end of the day, what's important here is I can actually, in this new economy and climate, I can save a few of those extra dollars. And when I pick up these covers, I can pick them up at my comic book shop, which is also huge as well, is getting to actually pick those up and hold them in your hands and not wait for them to show up in the mail. So Warren Lau actually moving over to Marvel is a big deal to me. So with that being said, though, let's take a look at some other news and things that are going on. So let's pop over and check out what's going on at the Direct. Now, currently, when I take a look at the Direct, this is also going to be some live reactions from myself in this manner. Not every single piece of this news I consider to be, wow, newsworthy. 7 upcoming Disney shows teased by Ant-Man Quantumania. I've seen Quantumania. I enjoyed Quantumania for what it was, which was a setup. I missed both of those when they came out. Yeah, Blue. Those were some gorgeous covers. I was blessed to have a great relationship with the amazing team at KRS, and they looked out for me with a few. I don't know if I was able to get a copy of that Power Girl, but holy crap, it's freaking gorgeous. If I did, that's nothing short of a miracle. But I do have the Harley set, and it is a staple in my collection. It will not go anywhere. Um, what's really big to me in my mind is it's going to be this week, The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian premieres this week, and I don't know who else is super hype about this as I am. And yes, Into the West, 100%. Always hot. Uh, I feel like the way the last season kind of ended and the information that we got then from Boba, and honestly, if it weren't for The Mandalorian, the book of Boba Fett would have been crap. I am very excited for the new season of The Mandalorian. Am I the only one this excited to see The Mandalorian right now? Because season 3 looks like we are going to get copious amounts of Mandalorians. And I'm really hoping that this means we're also going to get to see a little bit of the Battle of Mandalore. I don't, I don't know from the show standpoint how far into the past they're going to really be able to dig and dive on the show, but I am super hype for Mandalorian season 3. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be a show we're going to be talking about every single week because Star Wars has a great slate ahead of us this year. We've got The Mandalorian. We've got the new season 2 of Visions. We've also got, I think they're making like an Old Republic young Jedi kind of show. I think it's going to be more of like that Disney Junior concept, right? Where you got the really young audience. I think they're aiming that at preschoolers supposedly. But the big thing to me is Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson is a tremendous actress that they brought in for this show, and I'm not going to lie. I am 100% excited for Ahsoka, and I'm also really interested in the Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is something else that I'm very interested in. So let's take a little bit more at this Mandalorian news here. It looks like we've got a nice photo spread here for it. It releases this Wednesday at, no, it's Tuesday technically. I guess it's Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. So we'll get to see a little bit more about that. And we're going to have 8 chapters. Now, what's going to happen? We know that Bo-Katan is a little pissed at our Mandalorian. He has the Darksaber. And the goo from Ant-Man 3 is so Fanny was not a fan of Turd and Shroom. So not a fan of Ant-Man 3. I can understand that. But yes, in this season, I think we're going to see a lot of Bo-Katan. And, I saw a really great post that somebody made about how much of a hero Bo-Katan is not, right? Bo-Katan is not a hero in any way, shape, or form. She originally in the Clone Wars led the Death Watch in to kill an entire village, and not just the men, but also the women and the children. And she basically then helped start a coup that ended up putting Darth Maul in power of Mandalore, right? Got him in charge, got her sister killed, essentially. Then we come back, and because it was Darth Maul who ended up being in charge, she didn't understand who was actually really in charge of Death Watch. All of a sudden, she's going to the Republic and asking for help right at the time in the turn that it was becoming over to the Empire. And in Rebels, she wasn't interested in helping out the rebellion against the Empire. And now we're coming into the time where when does she decide to help the Mandalorian? Well, she'll help with Grogu, but only because it serves her interests to get the Darksaber. So I really wonder if Bo-Katan is going to actually be the villain of this show. I'm wondering because at the end of the day, Katie Sackhoff is a tremendous actress, right? She is a great actress. For all of those, even like myself, I don't know if have you seen Battlestar Galactica, right? If you've seen Battlestar Galactica, the Sci-Fi Channel version Battlestar Galactica, I'm not talking about the old Battlestar Galactica. I saw that because I am old. And I have to say that it has not aged as well as I wish it had. But when I look at that show, I remember everybody being super pissed that Starbuck was a chick. And Katie Sackhoff came in and killed it. She was a powerful woman who did what she wanted. She kicked ass. She took names. And that, to me, is the Battlestar Galactica that I love, right? That's the BSG that I enjoy. Now, her coming in as Bo-Katan, I see her as a tremendous actress. And I do feel like at the end of the day, either this character and the casting of Katie Sackhoff was to give some major redemption arc that we did not see coming in any way, shape, or form. Or more realistically, she is 100% going to betray Din Djarin and put the entire thing. She's just going to be that. She's going to redo it again. She's going to be doing it again. Like driving home from work and watching Phil. Vin, I love you, brother. Thank you for making it out. Eamon's World of Geek, yes. What's nice about was seeing the OG Starbuck show up in that later version of Battlestar. That was a nice touch. He was a great actor. I kind of enjoyed his almost his Han Solo-y kind of vibe and way with women. I did really enjoy that. I can't remember the actor's name, but gosh, at the end of the day, when it comes to who I remember as Starbuck, 100% Katie Sackhoff. But I do see this as likely going to be, I think she's going to be the villain. I can see an anti-hero because at the end of the day, like Into the West says here, she's a really good actress. She could work as a villain or just an anti-hero. I understand that Disney loves to make bad guys good. We've all seen the Tom Hiddleston effect in Star Wars. Not in Star Wars, in Marvel. And I'm sure they would love some of that in Star Wars. In all honesty, that's kind of what Boba Fett is. Let's get down to it, right? Boba Fett and that entire character arc that we saw as far as a side character goes, everybody fell in love, even with a bad guy, if he had enough of a badass outfit. And the good news is she has one of those too, but she has a very bad history ever since the Clone Wars about her involvement on anything in Star Wars. So Richard Hatch, LaCruz says, thank you so much, Richard Hatch. Hey, Webster's Vault. How's it going, brother? Oh, man. Big, great man right here. If you don't know anything about this account, he is a great seller on Whatnot, a tremendous member of the Instagram community, and a good friend of me and my daughter, Gwen. So make sure you're checking out Webster's Vault if you don't know 100% right now. Great dude. But yes, I will with 100% certainty say Katie Sackhoff is either going to be that major redemption arc, and maybe she's going to bite it. And maybe she's going to do something really awesome and kind of go out with that kind of style and panache that she can. But to me, I feel like, because I don't see a clear bad guy in this season. I do not see a clear bad villain in this season. I feel like she may be it. I feel like her betrayal is going to happen slowly at first at the beginning with this episode. And it's going to probably come to more of like a fruition of like, we think there's a bad guy. We think we're helping her with all these other things. And then boom, bait switch. She's the bad guy. She's the one calling the shots. And that's what we're going to see. So that's my opinion on The Mandalorian. I know Theo and I are planning about talking about this show each week. Theo's a little concerned about bringing it up, and that's just mostly because Theo's kind of similar to myself. We don't necessarily want to go negative. We will if we have to, but we don't want to go negative, and we're afraid that as this has been kind of one of the only things that's been really good consistently about Star Wars, what happens if it goes south? And we also know too that Star Wars struggles when it doesn't have a lightsaber involved. And yes, to me, in my mind, the Mandalorian is going to probably have as many lightsabers as blasters because, number one, we've got the Darksaber. Number two, we're going to be doing a lot of time skipping because it sounds like we're going to be getting some looks in the past at Grogu. But in my mind, I think the proof in the pudding for what's coming this year isn't going to be Visions again, because that was fucking dope. Number one, Visions was dope. Holy crap. If you haven't seen Visions, you can spend about 45 minutes and binge the entire thing. It was awesome. I love the anime vision of Star Wars. It was tremendous. But at the end of the day, Emon's World. Holy crap. Everybody, I'm going to shut up. That's a good point. Andor was amazing. Andor was freaking amazing. At least as a Star Wars fan, Andor was freaking amazing. So yeah, I gotta agree. I gotta agree with Emon's World of Geek there. There's also Andor that could prove it. Because to me, the only other thing I could think of was maybe Skeleton Crew. Excuse me. Skeleton Crew to me seems to be like maybe that one vehicle that could prove it, but it's been proven. I'm going to shut the fork up. All right. World of Geek. You win. You win. I'm here all day, Phil. Yes, you are, brother. Yes, you are. Holy cow. Man. Yes, Ronin is the jam in Visions. Her lightsaber is red like mine. Oh my God. It was so hot. It was so hot. Lack of sabers is an issue, but Andor was incredible saberless, 100%. It was perfect. Boba Fett only got good when it came to the Mandalorian, and that was the whole thing that saved that show. Boba Fett, and this is a man that's got Boba Fett's helmet sitting over on the wall right now. I'd get up, but that means I'd have to stand up, and you guys would see I'm sitting here with no pants. No, I'm wearing pants. But at any rate, you don't want to see me get up anyways. So I'm going to leave it over there on the wall. I'll maybe wear it the next episode, or if we really do a Mandalorian show, I say we go for it. But yes, big Boba Fett fan, and I was let down by the show. If anything, actually extra, Ming-Na Wen. I love her, right? She is the Calvary on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so she's been in Marvel. She is a bounty hunter in Star Wars, obviously on, the Book of Boba Fett. And that first episode, technically first appearance on The Mandalorian season 1. But we also have her as a Disney princess. For those that don't know, she was Mulan. She was the voice of Mulan, right? So when it comes to the Disney family, she is a part of every single facet of it. She is a bounty hunter, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and a freaking Disney princess. And I heart Ming-Na Wen tremendously. And I was kind of let down with the series, man. It's kind of it really sucked seeing her get her Star Wars due and be stuck in that show, because boy, I loved me some Ming-Na Wen 100%. Yes, Star Wars Visions put that stuff. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I got to agree. Rogue One, Andor enhanced it. Rogue One has been the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. Just going to say that. There's people that will take that in many different ways and take that any way you want. But Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. And I consider the prequels, okay? I consider the prequels. I consider the sequels. Empire Strikes Back, even better than Return of the Jedi, all that shit. Rogue One was better than it. That's my bold statement for the show. Tell me if I'm wrong, but oh my God, that was amazing. And yes, Andor did nothing but enhance that show. And I have no idea what they're going to do with season 2, but if it's anything like season 1, I'm here for it. So in I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, Favreau is amazing, but Filoni is the man that should be in charge of every single thing Star Wars. And I'm loving seeing him get more and more involved in these series. So much so. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I'm used to having Theo here as my co-pilot, and he's usually doing better at this than I am, so I sincerely apologize. But yes, Boba Fett needs to become Boba Fett. Daywalker, I couldn't have said it any better. Boba Fett seemed really nerfed to me in the show, and She Geek, so good to see you. It's nice to know my friends over at Nearing Nirvana can maybe see us for once, because I feel like we're always on at competitive times. But Nearing Nirvana, amazing show. If you're not already catching it, check out their channel. Just as much as my friends at Into the West here on here on YouTube. Make sure you're checking them out as well. They have the most gorgeous set. I'm just gonna say it. The most gorgeous set in all of comics and podcasting, period. Into the West. I have ADD, guys, so that's why I can jump all these ways. But man, holy crap. I say 100% check them out. And oh my gosh, you guys, if you have not met Hoodrat Comics on Instagram, obviously Hoodrat Comic Podcast, Hoodrat Comics here on YouTube. This is the guy that first got me into YouTube. This is the man. This is the man that drugged me from Instagram. He's just like, hey man, we were chatting one day in the DMs. He's like, dude, I want you to come on. We're going to talk about Hawkeye. One of my favorite Marvel shows. And I got to talk about Hawkeye with Hoodrat and panel surfing. And it was the best experience ever. And I've loved coming back here and every single day ever since. Yes, in Filoni, we trust. Filoni is absolutely amazing. It's 100% one of the best creators right now. I don't know if anybody remembers when Filoni took over and they said they were going to make a Clone Wars show, and they saw that it was going to be animated. Everybody got pissed. And what I really love is how upset everybody really got mad when they found out Anakin's getting a Padawan, and it's going to be this little girl, and what are they calling her? And it was blah, 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 blah. Everybody was so mad that this Ahsoka Tano character was coming into it that everybody wanted Filoni's head on a pike, right? And now all of us, like here, grown up, a little bit older, a little bit wiser, are just like, thank God Filoni's here to fix all the crap that's been going wrong with Star Wars and to get our shows back to where they need to go. And every single one of us was like wetting their pants when Rosario Dawson showed up with those freaking lightsabers. It was absolutely unreal. Snips changed my life. Yes, absolutely. Brother, I do need some I do need some barbecue, 100%. I'm going to see you at SDCC this time, and we're going to actually go out, and I'm going to get there early so we can eat. That's happening this year. That's happening. I'm actually going to get to see my friends at Into the West in Las Vegas for NAB in about a month. So I'm going to be out there, guys. We're going to hang out too. Yes. The Yelena Belova, Kate Bishop energy was probably the best energy in Marvel, in the last couple of years. I know a lot of people loved the energy, the romanticism of Loki falling in love with himself, Sylvie, which was cool-ish. I liked Loki as a series, but that to me wasn't the energy that I enjoyed. The best energy, 100%. It wasn't Sam and Bucky. It wasn't anything that we were seeing in the movies. It was 100% Yelena Belova and Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye television show. If they can bring more of that energy, to their Disney Plus show, it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, so Star Wars, getting back to that, I am 100% interested to see where we can possibly take this new show. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where we can take this show. I can't stress enough that there is Ian needs to head to Chi-Town for C2E2. Yes, Ian does. Ian does need to come to C2E2. We're all going to be there. Theo and I are coming out too. I think in roommating with us is going to be Nigel, Desired Comics, and Jeff, Golden Age Guru, who's basically like the unofficial other member of Comics and Chaos. It feels like the man's been on so many of our episodes. So yeah, we're going to be out there at C2E2. So we'll see you out there, Daywalker. I know we're going to see you out there. Probably Chai Comic Girl too. So you know, it'll be a party. It'll be a party. But yeah, I'm going to love this new season, and despite Theo's concerns, I think we're going to have to talk about it every single week, because that show's just been gold. Can't stop it. Yes, Pashma, you should go to C2E2, dude. 100% you should. I've got a couch in one of our rooms. I would 100% make room for that. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Get your butt out to C2E2. You would love it. Anybody that doesn't know who Pashma is, he is the person that does all the editing and the openers and the intros and the switchovers, all the fun stuff. Posh is a fantastic editor, fantastic human being, and been nothing but helpful to us each step of the way. Oh my gosh, speaking of Desired Comics, Nigel, what's going on? Roommate for C2E2. But yes, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Again, this is Daily Chaos, and this is just where we get into a few different things going on in comics. So let's get back to some of that news. Let's get into a little bit of that news, and I'm going to this time, let's go check out comicbook.com, because I didn't see a lot of things that I was super hyped about, honestly, over at Direct. It just seemed like a lot more of the truth and rumors side of things, and we'll go check that out in a moment. But when I kind of come here, I see a lot of different things. Jesse Garcia cast in a leading role for the horrible, not very good, bad day. I'm not seeing a ton of what in the actual heck is that. KFC is getting rid of popcorn chicken. Okay. So I have to say, as a overweight male that loves chicken, popcorn chicken has been one of the few things that I have been able to get over from KFC. Not get over, excuse me, that I've been able to keep close to my heart since they took away the Chicken Littles. I don't know if you remember the Chicken Littles. I'm old, okay? So I have Chicken Littles in my mind. I remember leaving school and like riding my bike to freaking KFC and having a Chicken Little. And dude, they're getting rid of the only other thing that I really fucked with, and they're bringing in nuggets. Your nuggets, KFC. Your nuggets, okay? I can get nuggets anywhere. I don't care if it's got your signature 21 season blend. Is that it? Is it 21 season? Is there 21? I don't know. But you know what, KFC? I'm gonna say it. Your nuggets. All right. I'm trying not to curse technically right now. But yes, I can't. Oh, it was good seeing you, sister. It was 100% good seeing you. But I need a moment right now, because getting rid of popcorn chicken. But why is this on comicbook.com? Are we are we seen as a fried chicken community? Oh, dude, don't even talk to me about the double down. I did that. That's half the reason why I'm still that's probably the whole reason why still that one double down that I had is going to be the reason I have a heart attack one day. It has not left me yet. I'm pretty sure it is rotting in me still somewhere at this time as we speak. That thing was amazing. But are we all so in comic books ingrained in fried small pieces of chicken? You know who's going to be concerned about that? The guys that eat lots of pizza rolls and Hot Pockets. We should probably reach the comic book community. But what's scary is they're right. I've seen everybody in here. I have seen everybody in here with an opinion, and Into the West, these guys are like my spirit animals. They remember the Chicken Littles, and they were the absolute stuff, 100%, 100%. I can't believe they're keeping. Yes, they're gonna keep their freaking bowls, dude. We're gonna keep their bowls. I don't understand. I don't understand why they're going to keep their bowls and they're going to get rid of this. At any rate, I'll let this go. I'll let it pass for right now. I'll let it pass. We're going to get back into let's see if there's any Marvel news, right? So, looks like Daredevil is beginning to start filming again, which is good news. Good news for Daredevil fans. I was a huge Netflix Daredevil fan. I don't know how much I'm here for the Disney version of it yet. I love Charlie Cox, and I love the fact that they're bringing the cast back. But I don't know if I want that version. I know everybody's just like, oh, we need to bring back the Netflix version. We need to, it didn't get the proper ending. And it didn't. It didn't get the ending that it deserved. 100%. 100% it did not. But I'm not sure it's going to get the ending that we deserved as fans on Disney+. And I say that as a usually trusting man when it came to the MCU over the last few years. I say that as a usual person. Can we talk about how dope the Smackers were? Yes, they were. Cole, another local Grand Rapidser, Michigan. Staying safe inside from the ice, I hope, my friend. But yes, I'm not sure that we're going to get the show that we deserve when it comes to Daredevil going to Disney+. And that's just because the show that we deserve, I believe we were only going to be able to get ever on Netflix. That entire Netflix verse, seeing Jessica Jones getting her head put through the wall, basically, by Luke Cage, I don't think we're ever going to get to see another version of that. And Charlie Cox is an amazing actor, and I wouldn't want to see anybody else play Daredevil. I'm positive on that. But after seeing his version that we got of him in She-Hulk, I'm just not sure I want it. I'm not going to lie. I'm just not sure I want it. I think he is a great actor, and I loved the show, but I am just concerned. With all of the Daredevil we're going to get. And if, you know what, Into the West, if this is 18 episodes, is this going to be 18 She-Hulk episodes where essentially every single episode is 20 minutes in length? If that's the case, I'm going to be so pissed. I am going to be so fucking pissed if each one of these episodes are 20 minutes in length. And I say that because that means we might have 18 weeks of 20-minute episodes, and I will lose my shit. I was trying to be good about it, but I'm going to say I'm going to lose my shit, Disney, if you guys are giving us 18 20-minute episodes. If these things aren't a minimum of 38 to 45 minutes in my mind, that's what you have to do if we're creating something that is going to really carry over from week to week. Because the sitcom kind of situation, I don't think that hit well with She-Hulk fans. And I don't think it hit well with MCU fans. And while it did reach some other audiences, and I enjoyed it, I laughed, I had fun, but I am concerned if this is going to be 18, 20-minute episodes. I am just going to have to hide. I'm going to have to hide from the world for 18 weeks because I cannot wait that long in between episodes that are only lasting 20 minutes. 100%. I wouldn't do it. Jessica Jones was heinously underrated. Eamon's World. Like my freaking spirit animal talking right now. Yes, I loved Jessica Jones. Season 1. Season 2 was a push, and then it got even a little bit more. But Kristen Ritter was amazing. I love her. I want her back. She actually, I want her back more than I want more than I want the Punisher. What's his name? I know somebody in here knows how to say it. I just don't know how to say his name. I know it's like John Blumenthal, Blumenthal. The guy that was, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna go there. But the guy from The Walking Dead that was banging the sheriff's wife, the other sheriff. Yeah. So that dude, um, great actor, 100%. I just don't know how to properly say his last name. I would rather have Jessica Jones and Christian Ritter back as Jessica Jones than I would be to see John Blumenthal come back as the Punisher. I, and everybody's just like, but the MCU, we've got so many girls, Man, Christian Ritter was like the girl besides Black Widow, and she was bad ass. All right. So, if I'm concerned about the MCU and getting more women back in the main title events of comics, is not concern over Jessica Jones. This woman, this character, this actress, she's proven herself. And if that's what we're going to get, I'm okay with it. Bring her on. I think Punisher has way too much baggage as far as a character for somebody to go bring it in right now, whether that is Disney, especially as a mode and mechanism. But I don't feel like we're going to get that right kind of version of Daredevil from the Marvel Knights that we know and remember. I don't know if it's going to happen here. So I'm very concerned. I am very, very, very concerned about Daredevil coming to Disney Plus. That is my one thing I'm going to say here. Also, in other news, Venom 3 is starting to get going. John Blumenthal, yes, I'm really hoping that this is the end of the Venom. Is the third one going to be the last Venom? I am. Nate, good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping in, my friend. Nate made it. Another amazing guy here in the community. Amazing artist. Obviously, Daywalker's an amazing guy as well. Will Punisher be sporting his new chest emblem? Like I said, I feel like Punisher has way too much baggage to show up in a Disney show right now. I know everybody wants him, but that is a thing, and it was definitely hijacked by the right wing as far as things go. People that didn't really understand comics, and it totally became adopted in a different way. And I don't even think the Punisher would identify necessarily with all those things. But at any rate, I am though hoping that if they brought him back, they would bring him back with that symbol. And because that's the Punisher I know, and them hiding from it wouldn't be cool. Stand it up. Good to see you, brother. Yes. Next comment here. Eamon's World of Geek. Personally, I think they should have an MA or R-rated MCU stuff on Fox and keep the comic booky stuff on Disney Plus, keeping them separate enough but still in the MCU. I think Hulu would be a great way to do that. Eamon's World. I know Disney has the controlling stake in that. I think that I know that the platform is dealing with a lot of blowback from like parents groups, right? So like parents magazines and like that. They're like boycotting Disney because Disney's putting adult content, things for PG-13 or older on their channel, and it's freaking out everybody. But honestly, Disney Plus is going to go away if it can't appeal to anything, over the age of 13. Eventually, all those kids grow up, people. But it's an interesting concept about separating them, and I think that that's a good idea. I think that they have the platform and the vehicle to do that, and their controlling stake that they have of Hulu. Because when they bought Fox, it was also for 25% of Hulu, right? Because I think that was a four-way split. That was Disney for 25, Fox for 25, Universal for 25, and I believe who's the other one? Is it perhaps does Paramount also have a 25% stake in that? I could be wrong, but at any rate, or it might be Discovery. At any rate, whichever one of the other two it was definitely those three. I know for sure because Comcast was looking to purchase Fox at one time, and that meant that controlling share was going to go over to not Disney for Hulu, but going to go over to NBC Universal, also through Comcast. So I'm interested to see if that could possibly be the vehicle. That would be really cool. It would be really cool. I know that they did that technically with Cloak and Dagger and with The Runaways, right? And there was another show on there that I believe Hellraiser. No, it wasn't called Hellraiser, but it was basically on Damien, right? So Damien Hellraiser, maybe, I can't remember what they called the show, but at any rate, those were on Hulu. So I think that would be cool. It's good to see you stand it up. But yes, it definitely would be a way to kind of keep their fans separated. But at the end of the day, if you are so lazy as a parent, talking to you parents that are having a problem with this on Disney Plus, if you are so lazy as a parent and an adult that you don't know how parental controls work on an application like this, then, shame on you. Because I think the irresponsible one is not Disney for trying to create a platform where people can actually watch shows of any age and not force their users to choose between themselves and the whole family or just the kids. If your head is so far up your ass that you don't understand that money is tight, and that when you buy something for the family to have access to, that you're not allowed to be entertained as well as an adult, then you know what? Shame on you, because I think that's a you problem at the end of the day. I really think that's a you problem. I think that you can't really blame Disney for trying to have content on there to keep viewers involved, because at the end of the day, it's not been working. It's not been working. Kind of like when Disney was afraid to embrace The Nightmare Before Christmas when it was originally released because it was so dark. Yeah. And now look, that's like a staple in most homes for anything that happens between Halloween and Christmas. It's the world evolving, and eventually we all have to kind of grow up a little bit. And if you're a parent, you know how parental controls work. Just put it on the profile when you sit your kid down to watch the show. So there you go. Problem solved. Crisis averted. I am hopeful for Daredevil, but I am not getting my hopes up. Because it just seems like a scary situation to really be jumping into. So, James Gunn's done a lot of things lately, obviously, with DC, right? So we know just the announcements that have been happening. Yes, we know we're always going to be keeping Harley Quinn. We know he's not getting rid of Peacemaker. And it's official, according to the Creature Commandos, the Weasel is going to be continuing to be there. But when it comes to the Suicide Squad, that's the three that we're still getting to keep. I'm okay with Harley. The rest, was Peacemaker a good show? Yeah. Do I think it needs to be a staple in the future of the DC? No. I think that's just because James Gunn's wife is in the show. Huh. Okay. Nepotism at its finest. James Gunn's wife is in the Peacemaker we're keeping. And James Gunn's brother is the Weasel who we're keeping. Why is that just dawning on me? Huh. At any rate, so, I guess that's why we're keeping these guys related. What else is new in here? The Flash obviously coming back. Actually, you know what? It's not even on here. And skip this for a minute. Has anybody heard about how bad Aquaman 2 was? Like people leaving the theater saying it's the worst DC movie ever made. I mean, like, ever. These are the people that made the first Suicide Squad. These are the people that made Green Lantern, and people are saying it is the worst DC film ever created. And some people walked out. Like, this is a test screening where, like, you're supposed to be in and be involved. And now James Wan is having to go back and redo a lot of parts of this movie. This was supposed to be good enough to get Aquaman 3 because James Gunn stated, and he did this during the press conference when he was talking about his Gods and Monsters first phase, it was going to start off with Flashpoint, and it was going to end with Aquaman 3. He said 3. He didn't say Aquaman 2. He said it was going to end with Aquaman 3, right? So whatever happens in Flashpoint is going to be kind of like the beginning. So this is like the Spider-Man, kind of situation, No Way Home, where this is the beginning of the multiverse and everything kind of starting to fall, like it was with WandaVision too, right? And all of a sudden it's supposed to be ending with Aquaman 3. But if this is true, and the movie with Amber Heard was so bad that it's possibly worse than the first Suicide Squad, or God, a movie so bad I actually had erased it from my memory bank since the last time I even said it just a week ago. Wonder Woman 84. Holy crap, man. That's a bad freaking movie. So I'm concerned. Has anybody else concerned about this? Is this just me? If it's just me, it's fine. I get it. But I'm a little worried. Well, ever universe nerds, their Thor. Yeah, well, the Dark World, yes. Wonder Woman 84 ruined my Christmas, bro. It ruined my entire year. That was like the one thing through COVID I was kind of looking forward to. It was like a gift for getting through COVID, and God, did it suck. It sucked so bad. Nate made it. Good point. But how did Werewolf by Night do? There's definitely a place for dark stuff. I agree. Werewolf by Night was definitely the best thing that Disney Plus has done, in my opinion, so far. I really liked Hawkeye, but when it came to Werewolf by Night, that was 100% a great special. Did really well. I missed a great night out with friends back in New York Comic-Con, staying in the hotel and watching that show, and I loved it. I do regret missing the party with my friends, but it was great. And yes, I agree. Yeah, Daywalker totally agrees with you too, my friend. It looks like you just saw the Red Death reveal. Hard pass for the last season of The Flash. So, keeping it on DC, The Flash season ending. I will be a person that says every single time that The Flash season 1 is the best major network television adaptation of a superhero in a show, a serial show continuity ever, bar none. And I say that knowing I've enjoyed a lot of different things on television. But when it comes to The Flash, because the CW technically was one of the, I think it was like the 5th or the 6th technically, network that could be broadcast without it necessarily being on cable. Best superhero adaptation. That season 1 was ultimate to me. And it's been hard for Flash fans in the 8 years since. But some of us have weathered it. Some of us better than others. but some of us has weathered it, and I'm gonna have to watch for the end. But yeah, bro, I'm there with you, Nate. I saw that Red Death thing, and I'm like, I'm out. Damn it. I'll come back right when I got a binge before the last episode. I'll do that then. Yeah. Yeah, Wonder Woman 84. What's that? Yeah, good God. Don't go back to it. Thor the Dark World. Actually, you know what? What made me appreciate Thor the Dark World was the fact that I watched it again after watching Loki. And I know that's weird, but I felt like after watching that show, I saw that Thor the Dark World was hella less about Thor than it was about Loki. And his growth as a character, as a person, and how much the death of his mother meant to him and impacted him. I feel like that made Thor the Dark World mean more to me. And yeah, Thor Love and Thunder was cool, but it was way too heavy-handed. It just tried to make me feel like I had to like laugh at the jokes, because they even like inserted enough of a pause after that they'd figure everybody would be laughing, and I don't know. I just didn't. I get the humor. I was a fifth grader once too, Tycho, and you're an amazing producer and creator, but Taika Waititi, the fifth grade humor was just kind of lost to me. And speaking of fifth grade humor, it's Theo. Speaking of fifth grade humor, there's my guy. How's it going, brother?
Another day. How you doing?
I'm honestly here going through the news, and I'm doing a lot of bitching. You'd be surprised, from what you know about me. I've actually had some complaints. Concerns about Daredevil. Concerns about my complaints about, Aquaman 3 potentially, and mostly getting into then complaints about DC in general. But hope for the future. But yeah, just kind of getting a little bit into the news and kind of wrapping things up. Been out for about 50 minutes, and just kind of chilling and hanging out. We've had a good 18 people in here at a high point, considering I only put something out 5 minutes before midnight. But yeah, everybody's been here. We got Daywalker, we got Nate, we've got Into the West, Ian popped in, She Geek, Cole's Comics, I know at Las Cruces, Desired popped in, Poshma's been in and out, Blue Lantern.
So basically all the homies
have been here with just not even a second's notice. So, no complaints. And
by the way, everyone that's in here right now, just letting you guys know, we're at 626. We have a 500 sub giveaway.
26.
626.
Dude, actually, you know what? What I forgot to do? You know what I forgot to do? Hold on. Let me pull it up. Real quick. Let me pull it up.
There's Desired. Yeah, we'll be chilling with Daywalker, Desired, in Chicago pretty soon.
Yeah. I was actually talking about that earlier. We were trying to get Ian to come out to C2E2. She Geek was in here talking about it.
Nate should be there.
Daywalker, but Ian's not going. Big jerk. Something though that you don't see very often is a book like this being given away. Theo, check it out. This is yours. This is your page, man.
Well, I know what it is.
Look at that's a fantastic book. 811 other people have liked this. And so all you've got to do is just be following Theo. But the cool part that I really like is you've got to follow us on Comics and Chaos. Would you look at that? Holy crap. Not too bad. Not too bad. Look, Theo, I'm actually hitting the buttons and I'm keeping up with the chat, man. I'm keeping up with the chat. Look at that. Blue Lantern. Hit 1,000 by the weekend stream. I don't know, Posh, but that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Hey, Ms. Troll Hunter, I hope you're doing better. We saw your post about your eye, and I hope you're. I
didn't see that. You all right?
Yeah, it looks like she got a scratched cornea. You know how much that hurts. So she's been trying to get better. But it's good seeing you, sister. So we hope you're feeling better. But yeah, and we're going to be doing a 500. Well, gosh, man, by the time we get to it, I mean, it might be 7. But we're going to be doing a 500 follower giveaway for everybody here on Instagram. So on YouTube. We're so used to Instagram and staring at Instagram on YouTube. So
we'll post it on Instagram, but
yeah, we'll post it there. We're going to post it here too. We'll make sure we announce it here. But yes, good. She's doing better, brother. She's doing better. So good to see you, sister.
Good.
Glad you're doing.
And you guys have until March 11th on this one. I don't know why I gave it so much time.
You did give it a lot of time, man. 3/11.
Hey, just in case somebody's on vacation, you never know, man. You never know.
No, you do never know. That is 100%. But yeah, so getting a little bit back to the news, let's see if there was anything else really kind of going on. I think.
Let me bring that comment back up too. Look at this, guys. I can't wait until I have my own bat cave. That will be the day.
And you know what? Shout out to Vin and the nerd cave that he has, my friend. I get jealous every time I look at it. It was a really great room, and especially when he gave his tour afterwards, after the show. If you guys didn't see our last episode from this weekend, you got to meet a great man right there, Vinlar, and 100%. I would recommend catching it because he gets to show us a lot of cool stuff in that room, and the man's got definitely a wall of freaking books. A wall of books. It was sick. It was sick. 100%.
All I know is he has a great significant other, because every time I bring a book into this house, you know what mine asks? When's it for sale?
When's it for sale? When's that getting sold? And
when's your next sale? Like Wednesday.
I can see that. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm that's a lot of stuff to put on the wall. That's for sure. But dude, it's yes, I'm here for a rage cave. We all want to see a rage cave. 100%.
I need swords and guns behind me.
That's gonna be a very, very interesting cave. That's
I'm gonna make a fucking John Wick fucking relaxation room. Remember the room in John Wick?
Bunker, bro.
Where the guys just sitting there on the leather couch drinking a brandy, and they walk in, they're like, "We need bigger guns." He's like,
"Yeah, like you mean like this one here?" And then on the side, he's gonna have a couple comic books.
There'll be one comic.
He's got a different wall. You have to understand. He's going to move the camera over here, guns here, knives over there, language. Comics. It's got to be.
Hey, we're already 10 minutes in. We're good now.
He's a well-rounded collector. One well-rounded collector. Yeah, we are more than 10 minutes in. We made it past the safety point, for right now, anyways. But yeah, we went over most of the news, Theo. Honestly, the most interesting thing on comicbook.com to me at the moment, and I'll bring it up and I'll share it real quick here, seemed to be the removal of Popcorn Chicken. But Deadpool 3 is reportedly beginning to start filming soon. So that was as of just 40 minutes ago. Looks like cameras are going to start to roll on Deadpool 3 in Vancouver for the foreseeable future, starting this spring. So we also know, too, that Patrick Stewart was basically told to put his acting schedule on hold during the filming as well, too. I know you have opinions on this, Theo.
How many times are we going to watch this guy get killed?
I don't know how much more time he has left, guys. Like, Patrick Stewart is. I love Patrick Stewart. I've loved Patrick Stewart since the Next Generation. I am a Trekkie. I am watching the new Star Trek show on Paramount as we speak. I'm a Trekkie. I'm not ashamed to say it. 100%. Great fandom, great stuff. Patrick Stewart, amazing actor, but god damn, the man's getting old. Even in Star Trek, the man seemed to be so old that in Star Trek now is an android version of himself, like reawakened in there. It's not even him anymore. His body physically died. They can't even excuse him still being alive in Star Trek, right? So as an actor, God, love Patrick Stewart, and I don't want to sound like an ageist, but god damn, yeah. I mean, how much more time does Patrick Stewart have to be Professor X? And how many more times do we have to kill Professor X? I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't like it. They're making it so, and we talked about this when Hugh Jackman was recasted as Logan. Like I was excited, and then I was like disappointed. You know, I feel like they're not going to let me love the next guy that plays this role because I'm going to be so dead set on Patrick Stewart that nobody's going to do better than him.
Yeah. Same
thing with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. I mean, I'm sure they're going to keep Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. At least I hope, right? That would be suicide to get rid of him.
That would be the dumbest shit they could do if they didn't keep.
I mean, DC got rid of Henry Cavill, so I guess anything can happen at this point. But
Dan, good to see you. But you know, Theo, you've brought up a good point though too, because we did talk about this when they were first bringing this up, and they were talking about Deadpool getting another movie and getting somehow Hugh Jackman to come back. Here is like, Marvel just needs to back up the truck, get some money in there. Like, Hugh will come back. And then we were basically,
but that was to keep him.
Hearing it. But then when you think about it,
that was to keep him though, dude, not to rent him.
And so the question is then, is this a movie rental, or is this an Old Man Logan? Which I don't want. I don't want Old Man Logan. I like X-23, but I don't want her yet.
We just had it, Old Man Logan, you know?
I don't need it. I need a young, pissed off Wolverine.
I need fresh. Pissed off Wolverine. And I agree with Daywalker. We need X-23, definitely, but we need a new Wolverine first.
I agree.
You can't bring in Hugh Jackman, bring in X-23. Hugh Jackman leaves. There is no Wolverine, my friend. You know, as much as I love X-23, if there's X-Men and just X-23 and no Wolverine,
it feels weird. You can't have Wolverine's clone daughter.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
You can't have Wolverine's daughter clone. I don't know if I can do it. I can't. I don't think I could handle it. I won't lie. I don't think I could handle it. I love Hugh Jackman, but these guys are getting old, dude. The acting class from that first one, Daniel Radcliffe.
No.
Bro. I saw some things of it. I can't do it. I liked Taron Egerton. I liked him as possibly a Wolverine replacement, but at the same time too, guys, I understand if we've got some contracts that we can't do certain things with. Maybe if we were going to have Hugh Jackman have him show up for Secret Wars as a cameo, cool. You know, cool. I got to see him as a cameo. It was Secret Wars. I get it. But bringing him into Deadpool 3, and if we don't get to keep him, I am concerned.
So I kind of, I understand this one. Like, would an X-23 be the next and replacement for Wolverine? So yes, but that means that we need to have a Wolverine first, not just Hugh Jackman stepping in for 2 movies and hanging up the claws. That's not good enough for me.
No,
that's not good enough.
We haven't even gotten to introduce the mutants in the MCU yet. Really, I mean, you don't get to count Ms. Marvel them saying like it's like a mutated gene. And then we play the X-Men 97 whatever theme song at the end. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. But at the end of the day, it she's not a mutant. She's a fucking human. And at the end, I no, 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 no. It doesn't work for me, dude. It doesn't work
Hey,
for
I'm
me.
5'10", bro. I'm 5'10". Like I told anybody, you guys, anybody ever gets me a role or any type of gig or anything, I'll give you 10% for life. There you go.
Somebody fan cast the man. He just needs an extra spot. He'll just do his stunts. He'll just do the stunts. Anybody gets him in,
I think
he's
one
there.
time on Whatnot, I told people because somebody was like, "Oh, you should go do the stunt double." I was like, "Dude, give me the job. I'll give you 25%."
Well, you know, the other
Too tall,
75% is
dude.
gonna go to the
Hugh
medical bills.
Jackman's
If
like
it's a
6'2", bro. I
bro,
don't know.
if it's a John Wick movie, I don't know. You might need the rest of all of that money to cover your medical bills because I've seen what they're putting those guys through in stunts, and I'm not saying you're not tough enough. I'm just saying I don't know if there's a hospital good enough to keep you alive for cheap because man, just one freaking wrong move, you're like thrown across a freaking state. I don't. I'm just saying, that's a dangerous movie to want to stunt double in. Whew, whew.
I would
But
do it.
yes, I believe Wolverine should be short again. I always liked the short man complex he brought to things and him looking up at people every single time he was talking to them and still getting 100% in their face. I'm I loved it. I love that. I love that energy that he brought to it every single time. But yeah, Wolverine.
And
We
back to
have to
this
have a
really quick.
Wolverine
Back
before
to this
next
because
weekend.
I feel a certain way about this, right?
Yeah,
The problem with this right here is that we're talking about Wolverine getting replaced.
yeah,
That shouldn't be coming out of our mouths.
no,
Just like how Hawkeye's getting replaced, or how a lot of other characters now are getting replaced.
mm-hmm.
When the MCU was in its heyday and everyone was happy and in love with the content, no one was getting replaced. They made it work, right? Everyone had their origins, everyone got to team up, everyone got their 5 minutes of spotlight. There wasn't an agenda push, there wasn't people getting canceled, there wasn't anything. That's the problem right here. Okay. I don't want to see Wolverine get replaced.
I I think that the biggest issue is that we're thinking about replacing a character that hasn't even gotten to get in the MCU yet, right? Because technically, he retired. He had his swan. Hugh Jackman got to have the ending he wanted to have. That was he wanted to go out in a big way, in a good way, and Logan was a great comic book story basis. It was definitely one of the best comic book movies ever made in a lot of ways, and it was rated R on top of that. It was great, and it gave Hugh Jackman the perfect out. What is concerning is that you're right. We're bringing back a rental. This is getting to give us a little bit more nostalgia. Unfortunately, I feel like our prayers in some way were answered and also cursed at the same time, right? It was like, oh, snap. Okay. Well, Hugh's back. Now nobody can fill those roles. Nobody can fill those shoes. And because of it, we're just saying replace instead of recast. I would rather see Wolverine, and that's the
Because
conversation
you,
we'd be
you
having.
can't recast
Who
him
would you
after you bring Hugh Jackman.
exactly,
You
right?
could
Like
recast him now if
if he
Hugh
died in the
Jackman wasn't coming.
yeah, yeah. That's the conversation we should have been having. We should have been having who's good Wolverine's going to be in the next movie. It's not going to be Hugh Jackman. Who's going to get cast as Wolverine? That would be the conversation. We'd be talking about how he's going to have a hard time getting past the Hugh Jackman effect, but at least the Hugh Jackman effect was what, 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, 4 years ago? At least it had a few years to kind of like get over, right? Now we're not going to get him until 24, 25. And then we're going to supposedly keep him around longer. Hugh's going to look like fucking Patrick Stewart soon. I'm just gonna say it. He's gonna freaking look like this dude. All right, that guy. Pretty soon, and nobody's gonna believe that he can freaking keep healing and not die. So yeah, I'm there with you. I see what your concern is. I do
And
love
even here,
Patrick
right?
Stewart.
Like I've heard this a lot that he might have a smaller role in Deadpool. He might not have a large role. But think about it like this in regards to like comic books, right? So I'm thinking about this in regards to the MCU. We're comparing it to comic books. Don't first appearances matter,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
First appearances matter. How we fall in love with a character, how we view a character, or how that character is going to be perceived going forward is huge in a first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot show me Reed Richards, who was played by John Krasinski, who everybody actually wanted, by the way,
Yeah, I felt
and kill
trolled.
him in literally fucking 5 minutes.
I feel
Okay?
trolled. I was trolled.
I felt trolled.
We were bonered. We were bonered.
We were
We got
Ralph
Ralph
Boner
bonered.
from WandaVision, remember? We're like,
Yeah,
oh, her
it's
brother. Oh,
Quicksilver.
oh, this dude's fast. Oh, it's the same guy played by the Fox Quicksilver. No, it's not. This dude's name is Ralph Boner.
Fucking Ralph Boner.
Are you kidding me, bro? I just think they're going out of their way to troll us right now. It's kind of how I feel.
I think we used to give. I've always given Marvel a lot of credit for casting, for probably some of the best casting in comic book films, because Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is honestly, that was always obvious.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, the popcorn
Yeah.
chicken thing. Yeah, yeah, that was a topic of conversation. We had it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll see you in a couple weeks into the West. See you in Vegas. Theo, if you go to NerdyCon or if you go to the Las Vegas convention, you need to go check them out.
Oh, NerdyCon, I think, is going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, and that's where Into
Yeah.
the West is. So I'm going to visit
Oh,
them
okay. Okay.
I'm going to visit. They've that. Yeah, they're all out there in Vegas. That's where they do all their stuff. But yeah, I mean, they've always had the best casting, like iconic casting. Like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Hugh Jackman is in a lot of ways Wolverine. But now I feel like they've done so well with the casting, we can't move past them. Maybe that's the one thing DC was doing right. A revolving door of actors and actresses playing these roles every single time they made a movie. Maybe DC trained their audience better than Marvel had, because Marvel's done such a good job casting, and these people have become iconic for their roles that they now can't move past them. I mean, maybe that's a problem.
That's a good question. So if we get Magneto in the MCU, should his story of being a Holocaust survivor stick? If so, would it be too old by now?
It's very dated.
I think they'd use it because they didn't deviate from Captain America's origin, and that's kind of Nazi
He was
Germany.
frozen for 70 years, though, too, right? That was the big thing. Like, well, you've been on ice for 70 years, Cap. I mean, could they pull it off? Probably. I mean, it's comics, right? But at the end of the day, it does
I almost feel like you have to do that with that character, otherwise
well, that was
he will not be as impactful.
That was the reason for them potentially, and this is what got a lot of people upset. It's got a lot of people upset. But the only other thing that they could possibly bring into it, I mean, was the civil rights movement. As far as American history goes, World War II, that was a lot of race. That was a lot of genocide, wiping out an entire culture. The whole world goes to war over it. What was it about? Not exterminating a kind of people. 100% had so much close proximity to the mutant cause, right? And the only other thing close enough that's been more modern day to get by with is the civil rights movement, in the racism, in the second-class citizenship. Not necessarily the genocide. Definitely was there. But that's the closest thing that they have to work with. And that's got a lot of people upset, but it's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know if they could pull it
I feel like
off.
I feel like you have to leave it because, like I said, you're not going to sympathize with that villain, and then he's not going to be as impactful as he could be.
There has to be something. There
Half the
has to be
reason why people like Magneto is because of what he's gone through.
yeah, and there's going to have to be something. I'm just not sure if it's World War II.
I mean, Daywalker brought up a good point. Iron Man was a pretty good updated origin because you got to remember that book came out in the 60s.
Yeah,
They brought that movie out in the 2000s and they made that look pretty damn accurate.
but it was just he was an arms dealer. That could be at any time, you know.
It
I
could be at
mean,
any time.
that was that was
I don't know
the
though. I
only
mean,
thing.
Iron Man in itself, the idea of that in the suit does kind of go better with the time that they shot it in than the time that it came out.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
The Iron
yeah,
Man in the 60s is like, well, how the fuck's he gonna do that? You're
yeah.
not gonna question Superman, but you'd question that. You know what I mean?
You'd be like,
Like, wait,
the fuck?
how the fuck do you
Well,
shoot that laser out? Yeah, right.
yeah, no, wouldn't have worked. And I remember them trying to adapt an Iron Man back during the days of the Incredible Hulk show. It was basically like it was basically like he looked like a fire hydrant, right? It looked like a fire hydrant, and you know
I've
the stuff we
never
use
heard
like
that
for
reference.
you know the ducting stuff that you use to connect
Fire
to
hydrant.
your freaking what's it called, the spiral plastic ducting that you use for your dryer to send the lint and the air outside, you know, that kind of like tubing, that plastic tubing, that was the arms that they were using for this freaking Iron Man version. Man, I don't
Yeah, he
know.
kind of looked like that robot from Futurama, the one that's like
Yeah,
in the Golden Age. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
That robot? Yeah.
yeah, Bender look like Bender, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
100% like
yeah,
Bender.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
He said,
So
"Here's how you do Magneto." Colossus, what's up, bro? As a Holocaust survivor, you establish that he was de-aged, like he was in the comics. Then you can cast younger too.
maybe, I mean, at the same time too, we're gonna have Secret Wars.
We've talked
Maybe
about
it's
this.
maybe it's a different maybe it's a different maybe it's a different timeline. Maybe it's a different war concept. That's the one thing. That's the one thing that in my mind was was the biggest issue with what DC does with versus Marvel. And it's something that does matter. DC doesn't use real events. DC doesn't use they don't use like real cities, right? There's always this, it's Metropolis that got nuked. It's Gotham City that has all the problems. Meanwhile, in Marvel, New York City's, you know, on fire, or you know, LA's
Right.
got the whatever it is. It's always tied to real world. And DC didn't have as much of that. Yeah, sure, they did, you know, Superman showed up and sold war bonds and shit like that, but it was never like, you know, Superman wasn't the same kind of character they were using with like Captain America. And they didn't tie them into all this historical Earth stuff the way Marvel did, to kind of ground them a little bit more in our reality versus what DC did. So
I think that's
maybe
why they stick more.
that's maybe why.
Well, you ever heard the quote? I love this quote too. I think I heard it for the first time like 6 months ago. But the way somebody described DC and Marvel to me was that DC was a bunch of gods trying to be like men, and Marvel was a bunch of men trying to be
Trying to
like
be like
gods.
gods. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why us
100%.
mortal men can relate a little bit more to Marvel. And why, if you ask anybody who's not a DC fan, the one character that they do appreciate and love is Batman
Yeah. I agree with
because
that.
he's a man.
He's the only
100.
one.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. Ah, dude. Yeah. 616 is a variant from a previous Magneto, kind of like Daniel Craig. Oh, I also like Daniel Craig for Magneto. Daniel Craig has been rumored to be possibly getting cast in the MCU.
I
It would
could
be cool.
totally see him as a Magneto.
I could see it. He would do well.
Hmm.
He's definitely a little bit older now, a little bit more grizzled, definitely badass. He's got the suaveness that
I still like
Eric
Fassbender
has
though.
always had. Huh? You like
I still
Fassbender?
like Fassbender.
I think he's cool, but I don't know, man. That entire if it weren't for Days of Future Past, that entire re-series would have been a flop to me. Fassbender was cool
But he was one of
ish.
the best parts of those movies every time, dude.
That's
Even in
that's
like a
probably the
bar
worst
fight,
part.
man.
That's probably the worst part. That he was the best part of those movies.
I mean, yeah,
That's
but I mean, it's just that's I don't know. That's what makes him. That's why everyone is like, yo, bring him back, because dude, that dude was threw knives in people, brought it back to him, like stabbed it in people's hands. Like he took a
well, effects
necklace.
were better
Remember
then.
these scenes, bro? He took a necklace and just put it through like all the cops' things and just caught it. And it's like, God damn it, like she's just the way he utilized his power is unlike anything else,
Well,
except for the Golden State Bridge. Okay, we will give the original Magneto his due there.
I mean, as far as things go, yeah, I mean but that's special effects. I mean, could if anybody else done it possibly? I think Daniel Craig could do it. I think Daniel Craig could do it. If I had to pick somebody new, I would be okay. I would rather just, damn it, I just wish the whole Foxverse, I wish every single one of them was gone. Wipe the slate. Let it go. Find somebody new. I mean, but here we are with Patrick Stewart again, and we're setting a precedence by bringing back Hugh.
Well, it's 2023, man. I thought they're locked in contract till 2025 for those Fox characters, right?
I don't know. I've never heard confirmation. I've heard rumors. I've heard lots of people rumoring, but I've never heard anything confirmation wise, like anybody showing parts of the contract. I've heard the same rumor that they had so many years that you had to lock these people in to play those characters. But I've never seen anything that was actually confirmed. It was always like rumor sites, you
Yeah,
know?
so on Fandom Wire, Reddit, and Twitter all verify, as well as a bunch of other websites,
Cool.
that
Like
it
it
is
to
in
when?
full effect until 2025. The contractual obligations of Fox movie characters.
Well, then maybe that's the reason why Feige says he's not going to do an X-Men movie until 2025. A legit X-Men movie. Maybe this is just nostalgia and baiting because technically Secret Wars happens in 2025. Maybe it's the plan to have whatever gets reset, that we got to have a little bit of our time with the Fox universe guys in the MCU, and when everything resets after Secret Wars, we move to an Ultimates universe instead of, because by that time maybe we're tired of Peter Parker and we're finally ready for Miles. Maybe we're ready for a different Wolverine or whatever it may be, and we kind of do like an Ultimates reboot.
For us to be over a Wolverine, we needed first a Wolverine, my
But
friend.
that's just it, right? I don't mean, again, not replaced, recast. Not replaced, recast. I think that I don't know, man. That's the only thing I can think to do. That's the only thing I can think to do. That's the only thing I can think to do. Give me House and Powers of X. We already got a tease in WandaVision. Speaking of WandaVision, Elizabeth Olsen, I mean, she's back. So,
Right. And Colossus
she's,
makes a good point right here. The fact that everything keeps getting pushed back. Did you see the numbers on Ant-Man and the Quantumania? Oh my goodness. Like, they didn't even make any money, it seems like. Like, they're still trying to break even.
yeah, it was a big drop off.
So I'm just saying, with all these delays, projects getting cut, movies not meeting their quotas, and this, that, and the other, I'm just scared that they might not even be able to keep going.
The president
Maybe
of
like, you know
Disney,
what? We need to pause. We
the
need to go
president of
back to our
Disney,
theme parks.
yeah. So
We
the
need to come
president,
out with a secret soda.
Bob Iger, he's back at Disney, right? He came back, replaced Don Chepak or whatever his name is, and Iger just came on yesterday, or was quoted just yesterday. I think it was in the Times or Variety. At any rate, they said Marvel. He's speaking specifically about Marvel. It's been running very unchecked. right? Super expensive shows, super expensive movies, lots of them, and Disney's got a lot of financial crunch coming due to it. So Disney's tightening the reins on Feige and Marvel and dialing them back. They're spending too much on effects, and they're spending too much on too many different things that aren't necessarily translating into profit for the company. So yeah, Ironheart's getting canceled. Yeah, Agatha. There's a lot of shows that are going to get canceled. There's a lot of things that are going to get delayed because they got a little bit greedy. Marvel got a little bit greedy. They got a little high on their laurels. They've been doing nothing but success after success after success. The MCU got too fucking big, and now here we are. And they have to dial it back because they can't handle their own juice. They couldn't keep up with it.
Well, I think they tried to push an agenda and it bit them right in the ass.
I mean, agendas. Okay, I see your point. But at the end of the day, it was also special effects. It was also characters that nobody necessarily asked for that we were getting anyways.
I mean, a kid could have told them She-Hulk twerking and Daredevil banging her the first time he's introduced, second time he's introduced in the MCU would have been a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, a kid could have told them half the shit they fucked up on. Just saying.
Yeah.
Clearly, they weren't listening until now when they're almost losing all of their money and on the verge of being bankrupt. Now they're listening.
Yeah.
And they're not even listening. They're just going to dial it back and cancel some of the shows that nobody showed any freaking interest in.
Yeah. I agree on that.
Exactly. Like
It's
Echo,
too
like
big.
why was that even a thing?
Yeah.
Why did Kate Bishop take down the Kingpin in the Hawkeye show?
Yeah.
All right, don't get me started on this right now. I'm gonna fucking rage.
Yeah.
All they've been doing is canceling all the characters that I like and replacing them with characters that I don't care about. Nobody cares about. They couldn't even hold their own solo series so much. Now they think they can carry themselves in a movie, let alone a TV show. It's hilarious.
I think that they should never have brought back replacements to the Avengers. They just should have moved on to something else entirely and just let the Avengers die.
Like Riri Williams looks like a damn Power Ranger. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know if it was.
Why was that in Wakanda forever? Why weren't the Avengers
like
there at a funeral? Like why did that need to get announced? I don't get that.
It looked more like Mega Man than it did even a Power Ranger. It looked like Mega Man. It looked like Mega Man shit.
That's being nice. You're being nice. Yeah.
No, I mean even more than Power Rangers. At least Power Rangers weren't like chunky, overgrown. I mean that was spandex, right? I mean they had a helmet and spandex.
I guess you're right. Mega Man, yeah.
Mega Man, like it just over animated, right? Like big, huge things on the arms and on the feet and on the shoulders, and then a helmet. It was really Metroid. Yes, it was very Metroid, very Samus Land. Yeah,
very Metroid.
Yeah, very Metroid. It was
yeah. We didn't need a She-Hulk. We didn't need a She-Hulk. And I'm sorry.
There's a lot of things we didn't need.
We didn't need a Black Widow movie. We didn't need a Black Widow movie.
No, we didn't need a Black Widow movie. We didn't need a Hawkeye TV show. I mean, Hawkeye is probably one of the most worthless characters.
As much as I didn't like Eternals, I do think we needed an Eternals movie.
We needed an Eternals.
We needed an
Disney
Eternals
Plus
movie
show.
A while ago, though.
We needed an Eternals Disney Plus show.
I needed Eternals like right around the time you showed me Thanos.
Right around Guardians of the Galaxy time.
Yeah, I needed it back then, right before Volume 2, right after Volume 1, right before we get Kurt Russell as the, what's it called, the Living Planet.
Ego.
That's when we should have got the Eternals.
Yeah.
And then we should have got Eternals 2, like, probably when we got Eternals 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
What sucks about the Hulk Colossus is that we can't. Universal's not giving them back, right? So that's not on Disney. That's on Universal. They
could have done a way better job with his son, though. Man, does that dude look just ridiculous?
Oh yeah, the forehead.
Ridiculous
across the forehead.
Yeah, I get it. That's in the comics. You know what else is in the comics? Him being jacked as fuck with long hair. How about we bring in that dude instead?
Yeah,
Yo,
Scar or
what
Scar.
the hell
Is
is
it
this?
Scar from Sakar? Is that what it is? Is it
Scar,
Scar from
yeah,
Sakar?
Scar.
It's
And
so
he's a
freaking
badass.
stupid.
He looks good too, bro. When he's got the long hair, and he's
I
just,
never read
oh,
this. I won't lie. I never read the series. But
yeah, he
yeah,
looks good, man. I just
Daywalker.
they did him dirty, bro. First appearances are everything. See what I'm saying? First appearances are everything, bro. And it's not like this is why I'm so harsh on the She-Hulk show too, man. Because Daredevil, we didn't get Daredevil in Spider-Man. We got Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
We got Daredevil and She-Hulk, and the first time we see him, he does a walk of shame the same episode. You see what I'm saying, bro? First appearances matter.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
nobody cares about Daredevil. They could give two craps that he's got one of the longest Disney Plus TV shows coming. Who knows what they're going to
Oh,
do
we,
with
we
that?
talked about that. We talked about that. I'm concerned that these are going to be 18, 20-minute episodes.
Yeah,
18
I agree with
weeks.
those too. Dude, I
18
grew up
weeks
on
of 20-minute
cartoons
episodes.
where every episode they had to decide. They like did rock, paper, scissors, like between Thor and like Cap and Iron Man, on who was going to go tap the Hulk and tell him the fight was done because he never stopped. He
Yeah.
always beat the shit out of. They're like, damn, he's going to fight us now, isn't he? Yep, he's fighting the entire Avengers. Here we go. Dude, where is this guy?
Yeah.
Where is this guy?
That was a mistake since Endgame. That was a mistake before Endgame. That was a mistake in Infinity War. Nerfing him and putting him just as the Hulk
They did him
and the
dirty.
Hulkbuster.
They did him dirty.
That's been bad since the Russo brothers decided to turn him into Professor Hulk. That's been bad ever since then. I think that was a mistake. And there was actually a part too where you see him in a cut scene, and it's in the cut scenes where you see Ruffalo having a fight with Hulk in the Hulkbuster, trying to come to grips with bringing the Hulk out. And they cut that scene because it actually ends with him walking up to Widow after everybody's getting dusted. And she's just like, hey, the sun's getting low. And he's like, and then you see Hulk say like, it's okay, Nat. It's okay. We came to an agreement. If they would have done that, at least I might have been even a bit better prepared for Endgame, because Endgame even to me was weird. The whole Professor Hulk thing, whatever it is, I never
Super
liked
weird.
it. I never liked it to begin with, and it started
See,
there.
Scar was ruined. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I was
You know
over
where else I
World
think
War
they dropped
Hulk.
the ball too was Moon Knight.
Oh,
Everybody
Moon Knight
loves
was
that.
terrible. Moon
Everybody
Knight was
loved
fucking
it though in the
terrible.
beginning, man. It
Moon Knight
was
was so
great.
bad.
But the
It
more
was
that they
so
kept
bad.
going, at the end of it, they just dropped the ball. You know, like everybody can be like a god now in Egypt, and he wasn't special anymore. You know,
Well, even
they
even
they
before that,
had to share it.
even before the ending, let's just take it back a minute. Even before the ending, we let Oscar Isaac as the actor get too much time as Mark Spector because he was going to be behind a mask. He wanted to act. He wanted to be this
Right.
bipolar, schizophrenic character. And we weren't letting Feige lead these shows. We were letting him greenlight, and then we were letting directors with whatever agendas and actors with whatever they wanted to do in the scope of their character, adapt them to themselves. Because that was one thing that Elizabeth Olsen and every single member of the cast said: when Feige approaches you, you also get to choose how you go out. You choose parts of the character that you will get to embrace, whatever it is. Like, that's what you get. And this isn't Elizabeth Olsen's not done with Scarlet Witch. That wasn't the way that she wanted to go out. She wanted to do that story, but that isn't the way she gets to go out. Meanwhile, in my mind, I'm seeing Oscar Isaac and the director that took on this film as spending so much time focusing on these freaking schizophrenic episodes he was having. That's just when it got boring as hell. And 90% of us didn't even wait around for the last episode, dude. We were checked out. We were just like, well, you know, maybe when we get there, we'll go back and we'll binge them all right before the last episode. But bro, I couldn't get my family to watch it after the second episode because it sucked. It was
Right.
boring. It was boring as hell.
And see,
So I
and how
mean,
do they expect us to get on board with like a Young Avengers or anything else that they got coming down the pipeline that involves all the characters in these shows that we just talked about.
No, no,
It's
I agree.
insanity.
I agree. I agree. I'm there with you, dude. Yeah,
That's how I
I'm.
feel about Young Avengers.
I mean, do I like? I love the casting of a lot of these characters. I love Yelena Belova. I love the casting we've got with Kate Bishop. I love the casting that we've got with. I think that these actors and actresses can act. I think we need to catch the writing up. I think the writing has been lackluster, and it hasn't been built for the fans. I don't think it's been built for the fans
I'm not gonna
to
lie.
continue
Who's
to
that?
care.
Who's that new guy playing Adam Warlock? Not
Oh,
really a fan of him either, man. I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I
I
never
I,
really.
I
I
don't
never
know, dude.
liked
I
Adam
saw I
Warlock
saw
though.
the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. I saw him and I was like, I don't like it.
Have you seen a movie, The Maze Runner?
The what?
Maze Runner, the
No.
Maze Runner trilogy. He was in it. Did a decent job. I kind of liked him. Beforehand I'd only seen him as a comedic actor, and so I wasn't sure about him in this role. But he was a lot more actiony in the Maze Runner movies and Will Poulter, and I was impressed. I was impressed. So that to me was good.
He still doesn't look
Um,
like Adam Warlock.
no, well, honestly,
I don't
maybe.
care if they can
Does any
act.
did
That is
did
half of
anybody
it.
watch? How many people like? I
You know,
guess.
half of being these superheroes is the acting. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
not everybody is a Tony Stark type character. You get what I'm saying?
What do
Not
you mean?
everybody needs to have that fucking swagger. Okay, some of these guys, they just need to be this character and let CGI take care of the rest. And half of this is looking at this character and be like, boom, that's Wolverine. Boom, that's Iron Man. You have to identify these characters in these cast. I feel like they're dropping the ball on these castings lately. Back in the
Yeah.
day, I remember they used to do psychological evaluations on people. Even like Robert Downey Jr. had to go through a series of interviews before they just accepted somebody.
Yeah.
Does that
Like they
make
should have done
sense?
with
Like I know
Ezra
with
Miller.
like Camilla Khan, for example, the actress that plays her, she literally sent in a video to them, and they decided, okay, we're gonna pick you. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't work and that good talent has never been found that way, but they used to be the ones seeking out somebody and digging into them and figuring out if they would be the right candidate. It wasn't people reaching out to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but she's a great
I just feel
cast,
like I
and she's
okay,
done
but
well.
that's one time, and that show was debatable too. They
But my
also
my
dropped the ball on that show.
but the reason why I pointed out that other show is because Will Poulter did a good job being an actiony character, a kick-ass dude in that show. So I mean, to me, I can see him as Adam Warlock. I don't need a dude that looks like him. I don't think Chris Evans looks like Captain America. I don't think I sure as fucking shit. No,
Bullshit, bro. That
that
is
what's her
America's
name
ass.
doesn't look
You
like
are
Black
this
Widow.
man is on some Kool-Aid. That
No, what's her
that
name
dude
doesn't look
looks like
like
Captain
Black
America. You're
Widow.
nuts.
He's
You're
just
nuts.
blonde haired and blue eyed, dude.
You
But
are judging him just like Zoloft did with a pinch of green in his blue eye. Okay,
well,
look.
that's what you're doing on Will Poulter, and you haven't even seen one of his movies.
How about Chronicles of Narnia? How
That's
about
what you're
that?
saying, though. You're
I've seen
saying
him in Chronicles of
you're
Narnia. There you
you're
go. I have seen him in a
Chronicles of
movie.
Narnia, dude.
There you go.
Chronicles of Narnia was like 20 years. So are you judging? Are you judging Robert Downey Jr. based on his Rat Pack days to be Tony Stark? Were you looking at those and saying, "Fucking Tony Stark"? No, come
No,
on,
but I was
man.
saying, wow,
Come
this guy has
on.
played a multitude of roles over X amount of years.
But yeah, but so's Will. So's Will. Will has. Will
Two.
has played.
We have named two.
All right, I'm pulling up the list. Will's
Pull
done
it up.
more than
Pull it
freaking
up.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Pull it up, because I'll tell you what, right
God,
now, he looks nothing like Adam Warlock. Nothing.
what does Adam Warlock look like?
Take a look. I know what he looks like.
All
The
right,
chiseled, jawed up motherfucker, too.
Will Poulter. Let's see, how many movies has Will
So
Poulter done?
hateable in a good way. I like that. I like that.
We Are the Millers, Midsummer, Chronicles of Narnia, The Maze Runner, Bandersnatch. He was in The Reverend. He was in the second Maze Runner and the third Maze Runner. We Are the Millers 2. He was in Detroit. He was in The Score. He had a small role in The Suicide Squad, the second one. Bro, he's been in a ton of movies, and they're mostly serious movies. So I feel good about Will Poulter.
We'll see. Okay.
I feel good about Will Poulter. Now you're right. Okay. Is he jacked enough to be the guy? I don't know. But I mean, I felt the same way when I heard about Chris Pratt getting Star-Lord, right? Nobody looked at Parks and Rec Chris Pratt and said, Star-Lord. But
if somebody said, hey, put a helmet on that dude and a leather jacket, you're not going to notice too much. I would agree with you. This is a different character that I'm talking about, Adam Warlock, okay? This is a character that you see his face. It's a pretty distinguished look. Look at him really quick. He looks basically the same throughout all of comics. He doesn't really change his facial.
I know, he's gold. All right? So
I mean, I'm not talking about his color. Just look at him.
That is Will Poulter. So you can't paint him gold with that blonde flowing hair, and he doesn't look like Adam Warlock to you?
That's me.
This is all right, Adam Warlock. Comics. Let's go to images.
I mean, look at him right there, okay? You telling me that's Adam Warlock,
so
bro? You're funny.
I'm pulling it up right now. So here's one, right? Is that a good representation of Adam Warlock, or you want a different one?
Yeah, there you go. Look, Ben said it. He looks more like Booster Gold, okay?
You want this version? I don't know. I don't think they look that different, dude. With white eyes, black crap around here, put a stone in his forehead.
Hey, they caught a good angle on that man right there. Why don't you go take a look at how he looks in the movie though? Click on that one right there.
This one?
Click on him. Come on now.
I am, right? I'm clicked on him, right?
That's Adam Warlock?
I think so. I think it looks all right.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I mean, we'll find out.
I think it looks all right. I don't know. I don't.
Thanks, Posh.
I think this one's okay. I think, but at the end of the day, too, though, as far as like who Adam Warlock's going to be in here, I don't know. Is he going to be anybody important?
Who's that guy down there next to Thanos?
Where? Here?
Is that a fan drawing?
What, the female Warlock?
No, the one in the middle. Who is that actor?
This?
To the right?
That's
bottom.
him.
Bottom.
Right here?
To the right.
Oh, this one?
That
that's when they were doing they
Who's
wanted
that?
What's his name from High School Musical to be Adam Warlock.
Because that motherfucker looks like Adam Warlock.
No, yeah. Oh, I agree. Who is it from High School Musical? Audience, help us out. The singing, dancing kid, and then he did Baywatch with The Rock. He's gotten super jacked now, but did a bunch of plastic surgery.
You're talking about Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Yep, there we go. So don't be told. Okay, so I mean, Will Poulter.
Okay, so let me
Zac
ask you this then. We have the original guy casted now. Let's say we have Zac Efron instead. What say you then?
I mean, okay, let me pull up a regular picture of Zac Efron right now, right?
No. It's not about the regular pic.
Well, it is with
about what they
look
look like playing that part. Okay.
I would rather have Will Poulter.
That's fine. We can't change it.
I've never seen Zac Efron. I've never seen Zac Efron do a serious movie.
I've got to watch the movie regardless. It doesn't matter.
But I've never seen Zac Efron do a serious movie. I haven't. I mean, what is The Greatest Showman his most dynamic role? I mean, because he went from High School Musical to Baywatch. So I mean, I think he could look it, but I don't think he could act it. I haven't seen him do a serious movie. I mean, this kid's been in The Reverend. He's been in a lot of serious freaking movies.
It sounds like they went for the acting over the looks on this one, and I hope they made the right play.
Well, that's
That's
going to
all I
come
gotta
down to
say.
Gunn and the writing then too, right? Because I mean, you and
Which
I
I'm
have talked
also
about
worried
this.
about because we know this is his last Marvel project.
You and I have talked a lot
So how
about
much
this.
effort did he put into this fucking movie?
Gunn's only had Gunn's. What's Gunn famous for? Scooby Doo and Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, now
Gunn's
you're making me even
famous.
more nervous for Guardians of the
That
Galaxy.
makes me nervous as shit for DC, but it makes me very nervous for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It does. It does. Because this is his I'm going out. Now I'm sure he doesn't want to go out and burn every single bridge humanly possible because he wants people to come see these future movies that he's going to do with superheroes. I get it. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that he has to make new characters for us to love when he leaves. So will he do Warlock with this Will Poulter? Will he do him dirty? Will he do any of these new people? I don't know.
That's a huge role right there.
That is, but he's ripped as shit. He's strong as hell and short, but I
Oh,
don't know
so
if he's
now
got.
when we talk about Wolverine, we
Yeah,
can go
but that's
based
what
on
I
the
mean.
looks. But we're talking about Warlock, he's got to be a good actor. You see what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
no, 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 no. I'm giving you the same routine you gave me. Like he's got the
Uh-huh.
looks, but I don't think he would have the acting chops. I couldn't see him getting mad. I can't see him going. You know, I can't see
Oh,
him
well,
going
that's
berserker.
reassuring. That's reassuring right there.
Yeah, Gunn was essentially done before he got the DC job. Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
That makes
but
me
that's
feel
just it.
better.
What's Gunn done
What's
to
Gun done?
really? But what did he do to deserve
Should make a
DC?
T-shirt.
Right? What did he do to deserve DC? Was what he proved himself with Suicide Squad 2 to be like we should put this man in charge of everything?
Let him
I don't
fire
know.
Henry.
I don't know. I think you're
Let him
right.
fire Henry.
Slither, Slither. You know, God, Posh, I love you. No, I think you're right, dude. But yeah, he fired Henry. Maybe it is sabotage from Marvel. Maybe it was just like,
Remember, I said
look,
that the
you did.
day I found out he got the job, bro. I'm like, dude, he's a secret agent.
He's a secret agent. He's a spy. Because I didn't think about it. Because when I thought of James Gunn too, I thought, man, that guy's got it. He's obviously like lightning in a bottle. He's got it right. And then I saw Suicide Squad 2, and I was just like, well, a lot of people love this. I didn't. I didn't like it. But, you know, whatever. I'm on record. You can watch my old reels. Like, well, it was a movie. You know, so it was what it was. But I didn't know that really the only thing that he had done other of note was Suicide Squad and Scooby Doo. And then we get, yeah, okay, we go back farther, Slither. Cool. But again, not to deserve being in charge of the entire DCU. So I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder, man. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about it, but I'm not concerned about Will Poulter as the actor portraying a role. I am concerned if it was written and if it's going to get cut and directed in a way which anybody gives a shit. When basically we know everybody's dying. Right? I mean, that's a hard time to get to know and enjoy a character anyways. Maybe he
Oh, like it's
interviewed
going to
well.
be a tear fest.
Yeah. 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 And that means he's going to have to be the bad guy at the beginning of this too, at least. The High Evolutionary. He's got to be working for the High Evolutionary. Because you see him beat the crap out of these guys at the beginning. He takes Drask to town. Everybody. So, I mean, shoot. This kid's been a long time coming. When I first heard the Zac Efron things, I thought he had the look nailed, and I thought he had the role. But he's done some weird stuff lately, and he's gotten really like swollen in the face and stuff, and it looks. I don't know. I don't think you would like current Zac Efron if you looked him up. I think you'd be like, ugh. But
He didn't drink enough Gatorade after those nights of partying. You see that guy?
bro, he looks. Honestly, he looks like he got the Kardashian treatment at the wrong place. he looks like he went to the wrong surgeon. But at any rate, I digress. Wolverine needs to be in the MCU. I'm concerned about just James Gunn in general, but I'm hopeful. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing, but there's nothing else really else in comic book news today, major going on. I mean, there's always comic book community drama, but nothing else as far as news goes. Anybody else got anything
What
in the
comic
audience?
drama do you know of?
Oh, there. What is it? Hmm. God, do we have enough time? Like I've been on. This is hour 2 now. You
No,
realize
we
this is
can
hour
take
2.
care of it later on in the week, like we said we
Let's maybe
would.
talk about it tomorrow
And
at the beginning.
I agree with you on this Colossal. I think Colossus. I think the problem here though is that they're probably going to kill the two characters that they could milk forever, and that's a damn
Yeah.
shame.
Well, that would be Gunn probably taking them to task before he leaves. You know, they let him go at first, and then they brought him back, and then maybe he's just like, well, fine, if I'm going, these guys are coming with me. You know, Rocket Raccoon and
Oh,
Groot.
we don't spread it. We just report on it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh look. Can you really go though? Oh, look at that, guys. We're baiting them. We're
Oh
baiting
my
them.
god! Tune in tomorrow for daily chaos and drama. Tune in
We're
Tuesday.
never gonna call it that, by the way. So yeah.
No, we're never gonna fucking call it that, but it's fun. Coming tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will talk drama in the comic book community, folks. And but in the meantime, for all of our friends and family that came in and hung out this evening, holy crap, thank you. We didn't plan on this, or letting people know in advance on this, so coming and hanging out was definitely a plus. So we
We're
appreciate
at
it, guys.
626, guys. If you haven't subbed, please do that.
626.
Like this
Holy crap.
video, all that jazz, guys. Sub it up. Follow One True
Holy
Nerd
crap.
King on Instagram. Follow Rage Theo on Instagram. We will be posting for our 500 sub giveaway shortly.
Very much so. We've had 245 different visitors during this last 2 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good show up, guys. So we appreciate it. But yes, so for those that came in, and yes, this is Eastern time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And Theo's going to be doing a lot of lives in the evening. So, guys, just so, like I said at the beginning of the show, Theo and I decided to do this together because we knew by ourselves it would be impossible to do the justice what we wanted to do on YouTube. We didn't want to do something half-ass, and we didn't want to do something that was going to burn us out. So we decided to do Comics and Chaos because it would be together, right? And then we can divide and conquer when we have things that we want to do and he wants to do and I want to do. And all of a sudden we can attack on 3 fronts instead of 1, where everybody's always having to just look out for themselves. So the goal was to come here and I'm gonna try and have some family time in the evening. So I'm gonna do more of the 7 p.m. stuff Eastern time. And Theo's going to be doing what Theo does, and he goes with freaking unboxings and talking shop and doing stuff as well in the evenings. And we're still going to have then our panels on the weekends. So you guys are going to get sick as hell of us. But we're going to start doing this a lot more. So buckle up, get used to it. We're going to be a constant pain and a daily source of information that will continue to evolve every single day on YouTube. So apologies in advance, but hopefully you're going to sub and enjoy. And if you don't, take a Xanax, get a prescription. It's going to take a while because we're going to be here for a while too. So yeah. On that note, Theo, what do you have? What do you have like in plans? Do you think? What are you seeing?
I'm trying to do one sale every day this week on Whatnot. So I did one today. After this, I'm going to go wrap packages and get ready for a sale tomorrow. So I picked up a collection, it's about 10 short boxes. I want to move like half of it by Friday, and then I want to do an Instagram live sale this weekend. So
Ooh,
yeah,
are you
stay
going
tuned for
alone or are you
that.
going with somebody else?
Most likely I'm doing it alone. If somebody joins me, it will be Danielle, Nerdy Girl Comics.
Oh, cool. Danielle's great. She's been on the show.
As of right now, I'll be going alone though.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yep.
you've always done well with those. So it's usually you just have lots of people that like to hang out with you on things, kind of like me. So, Theo goes somewhere, he always acquires a shadow. So I figured if he was going live, it'd probably be another one of those. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you for making it out tonight. Great first night. Really appreciate everyone that came out and hung out. And looking forward to having some more conversation tomorrow. And we'll talk a little drama. I'll make sure I don't bring it up though in the show until Mr. Theo can arrive and join as well, because that is 2-person drama, 100%. So in the meantime, everybody have a great evening. Have a great, enjoyable collection time. Read your books. And at the end of the day, collect what you love, man. Oh, and Theo, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you.
Send us a message. Tell us how much you love us. All that. I'm kidding. Just like, comment, subscribe. If you can comment on the post too, that'd be great, guys. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for 500 giveaway. We'll see you.
See you later, guys.